Hey everyone, Amy here. I thought I would do a quick impromptu bedtime musings audio. Um, just my latest take on the pandemic. I've seen a lot of what I keep saying is it's brought out the best in some people and the worst in others. So I guess I'll start with the bad stuff first and end with the good stuff. But just seen a lot of um, kind of self absorbed greed, um, people breaking the rules, thinking they're above the rules, really only thinking of themselves and how all of this affects them. I've seen people legitimately now. We've all joked about how we're all going to see our natural hair root color when this is all over, but I have legitimately seen people upset because they can't go to get their hair done, their nails done, makeup. It's crazy. I'm kind of like, yeah, sorry, the pandemic and people dying is inconveniencing your life. Um, People are unhappy about the lockdown. Um, just trying to keep people safe. They're upset about that. And then there are others who say, well, we haven't done enough. My question is for the people who are complaining, what exactly have you done to make the situation better? It's an honest question. Are you putting out positive stuff out there? Are you checking on your neighbors, your family members, your friends? Are you, making yourself available for people who are having a rough time? Are you donating items? What are you doing? And that's really my question anytime somebody is complaining about the state of the world. If you don't like it, then do something about it. Um, so that just kind of annoys me. We've seen people stockpiling, especially at the beginning, stockpiling supplies in hopes of making a profit. And I have to say that's absolutely despicable to try to profit off of someone's a tragedy. Um, and not to keep beating a dead horse, but I do hope that after all of this is over, one thing that changes, well, actually, I hope a lot of things change. Um, I hope that people will remember, others like myself who are disabled and stuck in the house all of the time, and who have sustained massive hits to their income. I imagine that's, a couple of the reasons why people are legitimately losing their stuff over this whole thing. In the beginning, I kind of joked about how this is my norm, and that really wasn't very compassionate of me. I, of all people, should understand what it's like to be stuck in the house, and having lost, a huge chunk of income. So I do apologize for that, because it's not easy, as a lot of people are finding out. Sadly, some people have been so unable to deal with it, they've committed suicide. But I do hope that we will remember, people in this situation on a daily basis. I've had a lot of mean things said to me, in the past few decades that I've been sick. Why do you spend so much time on social media? You're obsessed with money. And I think people are hopefully able to understand when you're stuck at home all of the time. And on top of that, you're sick and you're in pain. It's very lonely, and it's very hard to be alone with your thoughts. And you know, I've been hurt a lot on social media because anytime you let people into your lives, they can hurt you. But on the other side of the coin, I have had some wonderful things happen because of social media. I have made some forever friendships and real connections with people. And for that, I will be forever grateful. If I'm feeling lonely and sick at 3 a.m., I can get on my Facebook, I can get on my Instagram, and I can connect with someone, and it just makes me feel so much better. So, I don't know the statistic, but when I was doing some research on YouTube earlier, they were saying, how viewership has gone up exponentially during this lockdown. People are clamoring to social media to, sorry, this is totally impromptu, making it up as I go, but to fill their time. So, and a lot of people say I'm obsessed with money, and it's very difficult when you're unable to work outside of the home and, get such a low amount. It's very scary. And as we know, nothing is promised us. So many people sadly will not have jobs to go back to after this. So I think people are feeling desperate and helpless, and hopefully they'll be able to understand a little bit how a lot of us live like this every day. And I just, I also hear that I talk about my situation a lot. And again, I think people can better understand this now, because when you're in a desperate situation, a lot of times that's all you can focus on. It's very scary. So let's see. All right, let's talk about the good stuff now. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, and I'm probably the only person to say this, but during all of this, I've felt a sort of freedom and felt less burdened because I don't have to feel guilty for not working, even though I can't help that I can't work outside of the home because of my illness. I still feel a tremendous amount of guilt. But during this time when a lot of people aren't able to go to work, I don't know, I felt less burdened, which is kind of weird. And I've felt good about the fact that most of my family and friends are tucked safely away in their homes. I worry about them when they're out and about. So I probably have a weird viewpoint and just kind of a weird take on things. But I love that. And it should always be okay to reach out to people and check in on them. But I love how maybe I haven't talked to someone in years. And it's totally okay to message that person or reach out to them and see how they're doing. I've tried to check on my neighbors and my family and friends, and I've really loved that. I have reconnected with family and, heard from family I haven't really had contact me much before. And that's just amazing. And I've seen posts from people who say, look, if you're struggling, if you need food, don't be embarrassed, just contact me. And it just kind of reminds me of the times back when my grandparents were alive, when, you know, you would share your food with the neighbors and your family members, and it was more of a community helping one another. In this day and age, there's so much competition out there. It's like me versus you versus them. And I would love to go back to more of that. Let's help one another out and not compete. I love that, celebrities are on Instagram. They may be a little out of touch with, you know, real life for, people like you and me, but God bless them. They've been doing free concerts from their homes and doing funny videos, and it's so cute to see them without their makeup and their hair disheveled, and they're looking like, my neighbor mowing his grass or whatever. This is really has brought us together, and we're all kind of in the same boat. Yes, some people have more money than other people to cope with the situation, but we're still in similar situations where we kind of don't know what to do with ourselves. But I've really enjoyed, seeing people come together, and I know there are several people in my community who have made face masks and donated them, and done such wonderful things. And I really hope that we can continue to do this once we're past the pandemic. We're less focused now on who's a Republican, who's a Democrat, who's a liberal, who's a conservative. You know what? We're all human beings. And that's what we need to remember, not just in times of crisis, but all of the time. So thanks for listening. Hope everybody is hanging in there. And if you need to reach out to someone, I am here for you. If you feel depressed or anxious or uncertain, I am here for you. God bless.